Daily. This is your latest Michigan Ski Report. I'm Jason Dean with SnowCountry.com. Sponsor your job on Indeed. Get matched with quality candidates with Indeed-sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today. A week full of snow showers ensures that powdery smooth feeling under your skis. Comfortable temps are in place for Friday turns. You'll want the extra layers with colder temps settling in for the weekend. At Shanty Creek, all 42 runs open for you. They've got night skiing till 9 o'clock on Friday and Saturday nights. Bittersweet on all 20 trails. They do night skiing every night of the week. So does Mount Holly. They're wide open too. That's 20 trails there. At Pine Knob, 14 runs, 15 for Alpine Valley. Both skiing till 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday nights and 9 p.m. Sundays. Over at Crystal Mountain, a little new snow yesterday. All 59 runs. Nubs Knob wide open, and so is Searchmont too. Check out more at snowcountry.com. I'm Jason Dean.
WGRY in Grayling is a division of Blarney Stone Broadcasting with 97.1 Detroit Sports Radio Network. Powered by Gardner White Furniture in Gaylord. Same owners, same location, all new attitude. 101.1 WGRY.
It's time for the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show on Up North Sports Radio with your host, Rich Calkins.
It is time for the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord, dedicated to providing the best customer service and the best offers. JimWernigChevrolet.com. Rich Calkins, Jerry Coyne in studio with you this morning. JC, the Traverse City West Titans basketball season came to a crashing halt last night up in Marquette. Just didn't have it last night whatsoever, and lost 69-52.
Yeah, Rich. I listened to most of the call of the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it.
Right.
Because MHSAA doesn't allow that. You and JJ have been covering the team all year long, and even in your call, it was hard to kind of wrap your heads around what actually was happening. Mm-hmm. You and I were talking for a couple minutes before this. You know, it's like you said, crashing halt. This is a very disappointing end to a team that was playing really good basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, great team basketball for the last, 3 weeks at least.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we had won 10 in a row, 15 out of their last 16. So we're just like rolling along and thinking, man.
Yeah, the way they played against Ludington, every piece fitting together and working the way Coach Bowman had drawn everything up. And then it sounds like, the wheels just came completely off.
They did.
But as you were telling me off air, Marquette played great defense on Carter Grubb, which, warms the cockles of my heart. You put a guy in there that doesn't care about anything about other than stopping his opponent. You hate to add in the factor that they had such long travel.
Right.
I texted you something about that. You can't use that as an excuse. It does stink that you have to do that.
3 years in a row going up to the exact same place. And it
was a different Marquette team last year.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah, that's why the expectation was, that West, because Traverse City Central 2 nights prior played them really tough.
Yep, same circumstances.
Yes, and they were we really liked our chances going in. But they probably played their best ball game of the year. And
TC West didn't even come close to doing that.
Right.
And that's, plus they missed a lot of shots.
Sure did.
The whole thing, sometimes there's not a big conspiracy.
No, exactly. It's just one team played great. The other team picked a horrible time to have a bad game.
Yep.
And
it's all over.
And it's done. It just has that abrupt ending. And it's over, and the shock of it's still being felt. I think because, like you said,
it's going to take weeks for these kids to get over, especially the seniors.
Yeah, because there's 7 of them. They're the top 7 players on this team.
Yeah,
and so they all know that putting that uniform on, taking it off for that last time just hurts.
Yeah, it does. Not that it will mean anything maybe until a little later on, but I mean, this was not a state championship team.
No. But it was a regional final team looking at what the matchups were going to be. And but yeah, it was, we were hoping, I think, possibly for either a regional championship or certainly a
which
final.
are hard to come by.
They are,
Yeah.
exactly. And
District titles are one thing. Regional titles
are
a whole
you
other
start
animal.
elevate. Those are big steps.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I guess we should go ahead and just
Let's
play.
listen to what Doug Ballman's thoughts are after the game last night up in Marquette. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Michigan Trailers in Traverse City. Rich Calkins and head coach Doug Ballman here. One final time on the season. Coach, it just wasn't our night tonight. Marquette played really well, and we didn't have the answers tonight.
We didn't, of all the games that we've had this year, when we've really counted on execution, both offensively and defensively, we talked about it before the game. Like there were certain things that we could not do and allow them to do, and we let them do it. We let them get downhill. Yep. We didn't help up the lane. We reached. We got early foul calls. We didn't execute our offense. Right, one pass, quick shot up. We didn't rebound. There was just a lot of aspects to this game tonight that we didn't do. And they played hard, and that's what we told them at halftime. Like they were just outworking us, and they continued. I thought we'd have a good start to the third quarter and turnovers and missed shots, and then they came down, hit some threes, and they shot the ball really well tonight. We hadn't seen them shoot the ball that well on film, and kind of focused on that high-low game and didn't think that they hurt us inside, but we just couldn't stop that downhill penetration. And we didn't have it tonight, that's for sure. It's disappointing.
They really attacked the offensive glass, too.
Yep.
They had second, third chances and all of that, and they had that extra hop in their step, and it paid dividends for them, of course.
Yep, and again, just one of those. It's easy to have a little hop in your step when you're not driving a bus for 5 hours.
Exactly.
And, a lot of those other things that again, not real happy with the MHSAA about and the way that they run things. But to have to come up here 3 years in a row is it's difficult, and they have to fix it. Quite honestly, they have to fix the way that they are running things, because it's just not acceptable. But again, we didn't execute. We didn't put together a full game that we needed to. And they did. They made shots. They played harder than us, and the result is what it is. Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. Unofficial score sheet: Carter Grubb had 18. Owen Reibel, and got to give Owen Reibel a ton of credit for him playing. With his foot, with everything that's going on. I give that kid so much credit, because you could tell he was kind of hurting out there. He was limping pretty good. He was having a hard time getting around on that footing, but. Like I said, our execution wasn't there. I thought we played a lot of selfish ball at times, and we were trying to take people off the dribble. We weren't looking for back cuts. We were standing. We were stagnant. We didn't have the movement we normally do. We didn't have the activity downhill. We just settled for a lot of shots, and then we didn't rebound. And again, one of those things that we had talked about coming in is we knew they crashed the boards, and we just didn't get bodies on it. And, we tried to make those adjustments at halftime during timeouts, and it just didn't seem like we could make the corrections today that we normally do. Yeah. Coach, who did you think the Jimmy John's player of the game was? It's tough. I think Carter came out, gave us some good action. Right. High score, and had some big threes to kind of get us back in it. So I think we can stay with Carter Grubb. Yeah. But we think, Jacob Banish came off. He really provided some energy off the bench there. Made a couple of buckets there, made a free throw, and just, was put in a tough situation, but, tried hard and did everything he could. He did. He gave us some really good minutes off the bench, and, put in a great effort. He's been a good resource for us this year. I think that's a great choice. Yep. So, once again, Jacob Banish, the Fox Motors Motivated Player of the Game, and the Jimmy John's Player of the Game is Carter Grubb. Well, Coach, sorry to say it's the last time we're doing this. It is, I've really enjoyed the kids. Take nothing away from their season, because they've had a phenomenal season. They have, and that's what we talked about in the locker room. It's tough to have a loss like this, the way we played, or the way we didn't play, I should say, I told them, don't let this game define their season. Yes. We had a great season, and we just, again, didn't put it together. Again, to their credit, though, they did. They put it together. They played hard. They got to where they needed to be, and we just didn't match their intensity and their effort. And I think we let the early foul calls that we thought were bad calls, get into our heads. And we got a little chippy with each other, and that was just kind of the breakdown. We haven't seen that before this year. So, it's tough, but definitely not one of the games that we want to define our season. I was real happy with these seniors that they've really put on a phenomenal, career here at West, most of them being on varsity since they were sophomores.
Right.
Just an incredible season from Blake, Owen and Carter, and Graham and Brody, coming off, Jake Banish, just really, really good season. Ashton, we're really going to miss those those 7 seniors next year. And, proud of what they've done for this athletic program, this Titan basketball program. And, it's heart-wrenching to see him go out like this.
It is, Coach, and thanks to you, too, for what you've done with the program. You know what I mean? For us to be able to broadcast these games and all the hard work you've put into it has built this program to where it is now.
Well, I appreciate that, and a lot goes to my assistants. Adam Root does a phenomenal job, Scott Chenard and Brendan Chenard, and my JV and freshman levelers, the Lurvy brothers that come in. And just I've got a phenomenal staff around me that gets these kids ready and to be able to compete the way they do. So, it's just don't know what else to say. It's just it really hurts, and it's just like I said, it's a tough way to go out, but there's always next year.
There is, Well, Coach, again, thanks for everything all season long. We'll see you at the banquet.
Yes, we'll celebrate these boys and let them. Kind of hurt for a little while because it's going to, but again, what a great season and a great group of young men.
Yeah. Coach, as always, go Titans.
Appreciate you guys. Go West. Safe travels home.
All right.
Bye.
And we'll see you next year.
See you next year. Thanks,
all right,
guys.
Doug
Appreciate
Bauman,
you very
all right,
much.
head coach of the Traverse City West Titans. And thanks for joining us all season long on UpNorthSportsRadio.com. JJ Rowell and I have had a great time bringing you both the football season and the basketball season. So join us again next season, we hope, and in the fall with Coach Wagner and the football team as they expect to have a really great season. So West goes down here tonight in Marquette on the short end of a 69-52 score. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next year. Yeah, JC, just,
Well, Coach is a state of Michigan State policeman.
That's right.
So he's
state police detective there.
And, so he's going to call it pretty much the way he sees it.
Yeah.
He's right. The MHSAA has to make some adjustments on how they put these.
The formula. You need to get more credit for the tough schedule you play.
Yeah.
I believe similar to what they do in football.
100%. It doesn't make any sense why you would do it in football and then completely ignore it in basketball.
Exactly.
Maybe it's kind of conciliatory because a team like Marquette has to play, some smaller schools and everything else.
Because of where they're located.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to factor that in. There's got to be a better way to do it, or I don't think, a guy like Coach Bauman or any of the Coach Benzenberg, most of the coaches that we have on this show like to play tough competition to get ready for the season.
Coach Finnegan at St. Francis, right, exactly.
And I know Marquette came down here last year and played in the showcase. They didn't do that.
Put on a show at the showcase.
Yeah,
they had a really good team.
Yeah, they had a really good team. But sometimes you don't have it in the budget. For whatever reason, I'm sure the head coach at Marquette, who you indicated to me has been there for a really long time.
Yeah, Rich Leedy is his name.
Not sure if he wants to shove his kids in the bus and drive 6-7 hours, 8 hours. They're not going down to play East Kentwood.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you have to deal with some of your logistics.
They did they did play Cass Tech this year. That was obviously a huge matchup.
Where
for
the hell
them.
did they play?
Where did they play? Exactly. I'm not sure if it was a neutral site or what.
Yeah.
But
or they took a weekend down and played in a
someone
couple of
did some traveling in that contest.
No doubt about it.
Sure.
I know Cass Tech did not go to the UP.
Right.
I'd be willing to bet everything I own.
Right.
Which we were just talking about Cass Tech. They beat King in a kind of a surprise in Class A down in the PSL, the two best teams in the PSL play each other in the district final. They used to do that. They used to send out all the PSA teams when I was a kid, because the PSA was really good.
Right.
PSL, excuse me. And so they would send them out to different districts.
Therefore they weren't just all meeting right up again right away in a local district, and then so many good teams go out out of the gates.
Right out like we always had, our district, the years that I played, we played at Birmingham Seaholm. That was always the district home. And there was always two PSL teams in that district.
Right.
And they were scattered all over the place. Now, the PSL uniformly does not have the kind of serious strength in basketball, plus the fact that, a lot of those schools are not, Class A. They're spread out with different enrollments.
Sure.
Detroit Renaissance is like Class C. They're very, very good, but
but there's a difference there for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. You don't have to worry about the travel in the Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo area, the Lansing area, and in the Detroit area, and then you've got it up here, and but you could tell there's a certain amount of bitterness that Coach Bowman expressed.
Right, and if they do give you credit for playing, they need to up the percentage points of playing a better schedule.
Yeah.
Whatever the formula, how that all works out.
Yeah, like we said, it's this was not a state championship team, but it's the nature of the beast.
It is.
If you don't come prepared to play in the state tournament, you're going to get beat.
Yeah.
And
one bad night,
and it's all over.
Ends your season.
Yeah,
no matter how well you played in the regular season. It's a new season when the end of the tournament.
And that's the thing that haunts you.
It does.
After some of the tears dry up and you get on the bus and you have to take such a long bus ride back, I'm sure, some of the kids, halfway through that bus ride started crying again, like, God, I can't believe how bad I played, or I made this play or that play. Luckily some kid didn't lose it at the one bad play.
Exactly.
There's nothing worse than that.
Oh, that is the absolute worst for sure. Yep.
So there's a little comfort in the fact that they didn't lose at the buzzer.
And it was a team loss.
Yeah.
And overall, we just, we'd win as a team through the season. We lost as a team. That truly is it. All right. When we come back, we're going to have LJ Mead of the Grayling Vikings. They put on a good show. They're at the district tournament up in Sheboygan. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernick GMC in Gaylord.
Spring is just around the corner. Get your business ready to roll. Jim Wernick Chevrolet in Gaylord has serious commercial vehicles at serious almost spring savings. Right now, save over $5,000 on in-stock commercial inventory, including 2025 Chevrolet Express 2500 cargo vans, 2025 Chevy Express box trucks, and 2025 Silverado 2400 HD dump trucks. Built to work, ready for the season, and priced to move. Visit ChevyCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernick Chevrolet in Gaylord. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. See dealer for details.
Just like Northern Michigan High School athletes, Saab relies on trust, drive, and expertise. Those are the values it takes to have a winning season, and the same values that power Saab's mission, keeping people and society safe. Hi, I'm David Howie, Project Manager for Saab in Northern Michigan. Saab is dedicated to being a responsible neighbor, a reliable employer, a steward of the environment, and a proud supporter of Northern Michigan High School athletics. Saab in Northern Michigan.
She's your baby, but she needs some new parts. Of course, we're talking about your late model vehicle. Trying to find replacement parts can sometimes be a challenge, but Roscommon Auto Recyclers is here to help. We have a large inventory of used late model parts to return your baby to like-new condition. If we don't have it in stock, let us find that part for you. Find us in Roscommon at 290 East Federal Highway, just off I-75 exit 244, or online at roscommonautorecyclers.com.
This is Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY, powered by Gardner White Furniture on M33 in Gaylord. Same owners, same location, all new attitude.
Big capability, smart monthly payments, it's all happening now at Jim Wernick GMC. Lease a 2026 Sierra Elevation 4-wheel drive double cab for only $166 per month plus tax. Or choose the confident 2026 Terrain Elevation all-wheel drive for $399 a month plus tax. These are 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year with 2026 due at signing. Ready to make your move? Call 989-732-4288 and drive professional grade today. Jim Wernick GMC. We are professional grade. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you. And joining us on the phone now is the head coach of the Grayling Vikings, LJ Mead. And LJ, I tell you what, your team really came together in that district. They beat Kingsley in a tight 2-point win on Monday night. And then, unfortunately, they end up losing in overtime to the eventual district champ Sheboygan. Talk about those games and how those kids really played in those games.
Well, yeah, I mean, our kids have nothing to hang their head on, and we look at that last game in Sheboygan. They really left it out there on the floor. Defensively executed a game plan that we think was fantastic. That's a team that scored 79 on us, and they had 12 points at halftime. So our kids just, I think did an incredible job. There's some adversity throughout that game, some just really crazy stuff that happened that unfortunately went against us and put our kids in a tough spot. But they continued to grind right to the last. We took a 17-12 lead, I believe it was, should have been 19 into the halftime, and then I think it was a 20-4 run Sheboygan went on coming out in the third quarter, where we just struggled to score a little bit and into the fourth, and our guys came back from an 11-point deficit in the fourth quarter and pushed overtime, and neither team could score in overtime, and unfortunately, even though we had the last shot, the kid made a tremendous athletic block on a 3-point play to David Neal that was drawn up out of a timeout. We were going to go for the win with the little bit of time we had left, and we got one more, and the shot didn't fall. But kids had an opportunity, nothing to hang their heads on. I'm super proud of them. They didn't quit. If you go back to the Kingsley game, it was a game we didn't play well in the first half. And I thought it was a 13-point, but as I went back and watched the film, we got down by 15 in the second half and came back and won that game. And just tells you a lot about those boys in terms of, who they are and who they'll be. They just didn't have any quit in them this year, and super proud of them.
Yeah, LJ, it sounds like both games, games of a lot of runs by both teams. One team would probably dominate for a while, then you guys would come back, dominate your time. So it's just the gym had to be absolutely going crazy there with those games, so back and forth.
Yeah, we played the first game both time, which is a little bit awkward. And that first game versus Kingsley, being an early game and being the distance for both teams, the crowd was not very good. But then you had both. The crowd wasn't very big, I should say. Okay. But then you had both varsity teams for the next game that were there watching, and they got into it because it was a nail biter, and then that Wednesday night game versus Sheboygan, we knew we were going to go into a hostile environment, and it definitely didn't disappoint. And again, the way we played in the first half, and the way that defensively, the energy we brought in Sheboygan struggled. I think we kept the crowd a little bit quieter than it would have been. But then in that second half, man, it was an exciting game, and what a great high school basketball game and a great environment on Wednesday night there in Sheboygan.
Yeah, that's cool, LJ. Some of the seniors, talk about them, LJ, that put that Grayling Viking uniform on for the last time. Yeah,
well, that's always a tough one, even tougher for me this year.
Sure.
With my youngest, Miles, he played. He was super crucial in the fourth quarter of that last game, and he went on a little run, knocked down a couple threes, and really helped bring us back. And he took a couple tough foul calls. One where he had beat the guy, and the guy was on his hip, and the refs on the front end called a block, and then from behind they set a charge and whatever. So super disappointed for him that he couldn't finish out the game in overtime and be out there with his buddies. But he put up a heck of a year, carried himself well throughout the year when things weren't going well. And David Neal, man, the kid loves basketball, works his tail off. I can't say enough about the kid and how much effort and time he put in, and super proud of him, and just the way he handled himself, and even after that game, the way he handled himself for all the kids, to be honest, to be able to play in that environment and then go and hug those kids. And I heard multiple Grayling kids, saying, "Hey, go win a district title" to the other guys after they got beaten, in that tough situation. And then we got Brant Finstrom, Noah Gabriel, and Daniel Hunter. And all of those guys played. Daniel started at center for us, and Brant would come in and replace him, and those two kind of went back and forth, and Brant was kind of interchangeable, but at the 4 and 5 spot for us all year. And Daniel Hunter, we ended up, leader of the charge, kind of a thing at our school, and he averaged about a charge per game, and he just put his body on the line for the team. And so we always reward those. We call them energy-generating behaviors, and I get a Gatorade for that. And Noah was our defensive guy. Noah came in off the bench, and first part of the season he started, but just a team-first kid, man. He do whatever he wants, and whatever we think is best for the team. Yes, coach, what do we need to do? And so just a fantastic young man. And really tough. I had those kids all the way through third grade. I started getting those kids going in travel basketball, and so it's a group that I've grown close to and absolutely love, and appreciate all the energy and time that they not only put in the court, but with our youth program and coming in on Saturdays and being there for 5 or 6 hours, working for the youth, and getting some community service. So fun group. A lot of laughs with the group, and wish we could have gotten at least one more.
Yeah, LJ, people don't always see the amount of time that coaches spend with these kids and the summer programs and doing everything like that. You really form that bond with the team.
Oh, absolutely. And, I'm glad you bring up the summer program and going back to those seniors. Every single one of those seniors committed to every date of the summer, and that's a big ask of kids. Yes. When you're looking at 15 dates and families and other things, jobs and other sports, friends, all that, and for those 5 kids to do that says again a lot about them, and can't thank them enough.
Coach, you've had both your sons. You've coached both of them there at Grayling High. Just talk a minute about, the the challenges of coaching your son, embedded in a whole team atmosphere.
Oh man, it's I wouldn't change it, but you're right. It absolutely has its challenges. As hard as you try to, look at the game in a whole, there's going to be those moments where your kid gets coached harder than the others, unfortunately. And I tried to really have some balance with that for sure and recognize it. But Miles is one that would take it and go, and then Maddox and I bumped heads a little bit, and it's definitely a tough thing. But I guarantee both of those guys would say that they would want it no different, and on my end, neither. But it definitely presents its challenge within it, and I feel like if you're fair and across the board, all kids are going to see that, and if those kids are committing, my sons, if they're committing the time and putting in the effort that the others are, it really shouldn't be an issue. And this year it absolutely wasn't. These guys bonded and played hard for each other.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard on the kid from the other, depending on how the team treats it.
Yeah, exactly. There's all kinds of different dynamics within that. Yes.
Exactly. So
100%. And you always try to do what's best. And
Yeah.
You look at this year, there was multiple sets that we ran to Miles, and being one of our best shooters and best offensive threats, and these kids never said a word throughout the season. Miles always got specifically through league play. He drew their best defender, and there was support across the board with these kids But yeah, it's a challenge as a parent and a coach. But early on in life, I gave up a lot of time coaching other people's kids.
Right.
And my boys maybe weren't. I wasn't home as much in the wintertime and late fall through spring, and so there were some moments that definitely missed out there because I was coaching. But for 4 years with both the kids, I was able to have a different type of bond than a lot of people do, and so definitely wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. One last question, real quick, Rich. Yep. Did you have any rules though? Like when we get home, we're not talking about this, or your wife might have said, "When we get home, we're not talking about this."
Yeah, it's kind of a little different dynamic in more recent years, where a lot of the kids just would go home with their parents, and I would be on the bus. So I think to answer that question, yes, we did, but also that bus also helped. There was basically early on I didn't realize this, and I didn't catch it, but later on it was like, hey, we're going to talk about one thing, and I got advice from other coaches who had their kids, and we're going to talk about one thing positive, one thing we could do better, and that's it. We're not going to dwell on it. We're going to move on, and it did take me a little bit of time to learn that. But later on, specifically in high school, that was kind of the rule we went by, and it worked for us.
Okay, thank you.
It's a hard balance.
No, I just think
sure.
Other people, have that in the back of their mind, like other parents on the team looking at, well, look at this guy's just coaching his kid. It's not that at all.
No, not at all. All right, LJ, I do appreciate everything that you've done for the program. Remember, you took the Grayling Vikings to a quarterfinal here just a few years ago, and had a lot of success there. So thanks for joining us on these Saturday mornings.
Always great to talk with you guys, and I appreciate the time, and look forward to the future of Grayling basketball. So go Vikes.
Go Vikes. All right, LJ Mead of the Grayling Vikings. All right, JC there. So another team that we cover here at the station. So
another season off to an end. Yeah. I'm glad I won't be here next weekend, Rich.
Yeah,
you can figure out what the hell you're going to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to need some volunteers here. So, all right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Ryan Benzenberg of the Cadillac Vikings, and we're also going to talk about Dominic Wing as being our Student Athlete of the Week through the National Guard. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernick, GMC in Gaylord.
It's time for the Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it.
I'm Melissa Sullivan, outdoor enthusiast and your host, and I caught up with Doug Laban from the Ogama Hills Snowmobile Club in West Branch, and he shared some essential etiquette for when you encounter hardworking groomers. Doug's top tip?
Number one, the groomer always has the right of way. The groomer cannot get off the trail, flat out period. They cannot get off the trail. So it's up to you as a sledder to stop, get your sled off the trail, whether you back up and go somewhere to where there's an intersection or where you just, jump up into the soft stuff on the sides. If you are following a groomer and you come up on a groomer from the rear, well then guess what? You get to ride on a nice flat smooth ribbon until the groomer himself will actually stop and wave you by.
Of the Ogama Hills Snowmobile Club, don't miss their 14th annual Vintage Show and Ride and the 58th anniversary celebration this Saturday, and support a club that's been serving our trails since 1967.
Never been a shutdown. We've served the West Branch community and the hobby since December of 1967.
Visit UpNorthSportsRadio.com to view the full interview.
This has been your Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it.
Outdoor Equipment Co. is more than just a dealership. They're a local, family-owned company with 3 locations across Michigan, carrying the top brands in power sports, marine, and outdoor equipment like Tahoe Pontoon, Kawasaki, Toro, and more. Whether you're shopping for a new unit or you need parts, service, or warranty work, you need to see the experts at Outdoor Equipment Co., Michigan's trusted source for sales, service, and parts. For the Outdoor Equipment Co. location nearest you, head to OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Spring is just around the corner. Get your business ready to roll. Jim Wiernig Chevrolet in Gaylord has serious commercial vehicles at serious almost spring savings. Right now, save over $5,000 on in-stock commercial inventory, including 2025 Chevrolet Express 2500 cargo vans, 2025 Chevy Express box trucks, and 2025 Silverado 2400 HD dump trucks. Built to work, ready for the season, and priced to move. Visit ChevyCentral.com or stop by Jim Wiernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. See dealer for details.
Nominations for the Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2026 Reader's Choice Contest are open. Nominate your favorite businesses, organizations, and professionals in Northern Michigan for well-deserved recognition. Nominate once daily in each category through Friday, May 8th. Simply the Best in 2025 broke records, more than 29,000 nominations and more than 39,000 votes. It's more important than ever to support your favorites and help them stand out above the rest. Simply the Best voting begins May 11th, so nominate now at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
The Spring Refresh Sale at your Gaylord Gardner White Furniture Store lets you spruce up your home or cottage and save an extra 30% on top of our industry low prices. Your purchase may even qualify for our special We Pay Your Sales Tax plan. Instead of paying Uncle Sam, let Gaylord Gardner White do it for you. Visit the friendly Gaylord Gardner White store on M32 across from Meyer in Gaylord. Same owners, same location, all new attitude.
193 bands, strap in. My monster's out. Saturday, July 11th, Shinedown at Soaring Eagle with special guest Coheed and Cambria. And From Ashes to New, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series. Tickets start at $62 and on sale now at the box office or online at etix.com. Showtime 7 p.m. Shinedown with Coheed and Cambria and From Ashes to New at Soaring Eagle Casino. July 11th, SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Nominations for the Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2026 Reader's Choice Contests are open. Nominate your favorite businesses, organizations, and professionals in Northern Michigan for well-deserved recognition. Nominate once daily in each category through Friday, May 8th. Simply the Best in 2025 broke records, more than 29,000 nominations and more than 39,000 votes. It's more important than ever to support your favorites and help them stand out above the rest. Simply the Best voting begins May 11th, so nominate now at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
Ah, discover that I filed feeling that only your neighborhood tax experts at H&R Block can provide, with guaranteed 100% accuracy and your max refund or your money back. Walk in or make an appointment at 620 South Morenci Avenue in Mayo or call 989-826-6521 to get your taxes squared away at H&R Block. That's 989-826-6521. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education or where your talents lie, the Michigan Army National Guard has most of the answers. Your participation in a few yearly training exercises will make you stronger and part of a patriotic team. You will also receive up to $50,000 in scholarships towards your education, including training and placement in exciting tech and medical fields. Build your future and support your country. Apply to miarmyguard.com. That's miarmyguard.com.
Big capability, smart monthly payments. It's all happening now at Jim Wiernig GMC. Lease a 2026 Sierra Elevation 4-wheel drive double cab for only $166 per month plus tax. Or choose the confident 2026 Terrain Elevation all-wheel drive for $399 a month plus tax. These are 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year with 2026 due at signing. Ready to make your move? Call 989-732-4288 and drive professional grade today. Jim Wiernig GMC. We are professional grade. See dealer for details.
It's time to announce the Michigan Army National Guard Student Athlete of the Week here on Up North Sports Radio. If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education, build your future, and support your country, apply to miarmyguard.com. miarmyguard.com.
It's time now for the Michigan Army National Guard Student Athlete of the Week. This week, Up North Sports Radio is honoring Dominic Wing of the Cadillac Vikings. Congratulations, Dominic. Staff Sergeant Bill Brown from the Cadillac area will be dropping by Cadillac High School with some National Guard swag just for you. Visit miarmyguard.com to set your career in motion.
Congratulations to the Michigan Army National Guard Student Athlete of the Week here on Up North Sports Radio's High School Scoreboard Show. If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education, build your future, and support your country, apply to miarmyguard.com.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Rich Calkins, Jerry Coyne in studio with you. And joining us now is the head coach of the Cadillac Vikings, Ryan Benzenberg. And Ryan, before we end up talking about the team and the season and all that, but congratulations to Dominic Wing on being named the Student Athlete of the Week.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, and definitely appreciate the support and recognition that you guys give to all Northern Michigan athletes, but particularly my couple Vikes that were able to get the award this week or this year. And Dominic is the epitome of what we talk about, wanting to be a Cadillac Viking. He gets it done in the classroom, gets it done on the court. Really good player. He's got a great family, always wanting to support our little kids, and really is the perfect player in our program. So we're just really excited to kind of share the accolades that he was able to get that we've known about for a while.
Sure.
To everybody in your community.
Yeah, Coach, and he's an underclassman. You get to have him for another year or two, do you not?
Yeah, he's a young one. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
He finished his sophomore season, averaged just a tick under 18 a game, just a tick under 7 rebounds. Just a little over 7 rebounds a game, and pretty much got every team's defensive scheme, particularly in the last part of the year. So was able to still continue to produce really good offensive numbers. In addition to that, very often he would guard the other team's best player and did a really good job with that when we challenged him with that as well.
Yeah, Coach, he showed those flashes last year as a freshman up on varsity, and you knew that kid was going to be a player.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was most impressive to me this year, guys, is like last year we had some seniors that kind of were probably the first and second options.
Right.
So I don't want to say it was easier for him, but he wasn't the focal point of other teams' defensive game plans.
Sure.
And this year coming in, I think that changed quite a bit, and he handled that really, really well. I think it made him grow as a basketball player and kind of expand his toolbox a little bit to add some more tools into his toolbox to counter the counters and all of that kind of good stuff that good players have to deal with on a nightly basis, and I thought he handled that seamlessly.
Well, you're fortunate enough, and so is he, Coach, that he's young enough that usually that doesn't happen to like the transition between your junior and senior year. You see a lot of kids have great junior years because they're the Robin to the Batman, and then they take on the Batman mantle, and they're not used to seeing double teams, and so you see a lot of kids with a lot of promise heading into their senior years just not attaining that because they're not used to all the pressure and added defense and scrutiny.
I tell you what, that you couldn't have said it better. I totally agree with that, and that really sets him up. Not only because I know he's going to put a ton of work in this summer individually, he'll get on some high-level AAU circuit and stuff, but that will get him primed to have two really good, junior and senior years, having already dealt with being the Batman, as you said. So I think that's a really good point, and the future is definitely bright, not only for him, but our entire program because of him.
Yeah, no question about it, Coach. All right, Coach, you district play, you opened up against a very good Midland Dow team, Coach, and it ended with that 60-46 loss.
Yeah, I'm still trying to decompress from that, and I think all coaches probably go through a little bit of what I'm going through because
sure,
I just really felt like as our coaching staff probably struggled to get our team to our ceiling this year. Credit Dow, they played a good game defensively. They really took us out of what we wanted to do, but we really struggled to get into anything offensively. Now, with that said, we battled down 7 in the third quarter, and we miss a ball screen coverage. They hit a 3, they come down, get an and 1, and now we're down 13. So we can never really get within any closer than 7, and it was just a struggle offensively. With that said, though, we were really, really young. I know we had 4 seniors in our rotation, but they were young seniors, as you and I have have talked about throughout the season. So, credit Midland Dow and credit Dan Shell for winning the district last night, because I knew that would be a dogfight in their third game with each other this year. But we just didn't have enough edge to us to handle the physicality that Dow played with, and because of that, we took our jerseys off for the last time on Wednesday.
Yeah, Coach, that's a program that you've really had rolling, and you're so used to so much success and deep runs in the playoffs. I know it's always like a shocker when you made each year not have that exact same result.
It's interesting. It's like a really bittersweet thing around Cadillac, because people genuinely, like, the sky's falling here because we won 11 games this year and lost in the first round of district. So it's a really, really good problem to have, because we've set some expectations of what good looks like for us, but also understand, like, there's programs in this state that go 5, 6, 7, 8 years without winning 11 games. So while we internally aren't happy with the result that we had, I think with the way our league was constructed this year, with a couple of the really strong teams, the age of our group, and what we did lose, I'm not going to tell you that I'm happy with it, because I'm not. However, I think our kids deserve some credit for persevering through some of the adversity that we dealt with this year.
Yeah, Coach, not to expose a lot of things, it sounds like you and Coach Finnegan at Traverse City St. Francis kind of experienced the same type of season. Frustrating not to get the team on the same page each and every game, and then the team showed flashes of exactly what you wanted to see. I don't know if there's a real explanation for it. Just some seasons just work out that way, where not everybody gets the message completely or can get ready to play at their absolute highest level. I mean, you're talking about teenage boys, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I would say, as a coach, if you can figure out how to that secret sauce, you'd be a millionaire, right? Because I think that's all of our coaches, what we're striving to do. And when you have young, inexperienced teams, that lack of consistency is what drives us coaches to have sleepless nights, right?
Right.
So I'm pretty good friends with Sean, and he did experience some of that, where you show flashes of us saying, okay, how do we sustain that? How do we play at that level consistently instead of having to reach to get to that level? And I think that's something that myself and our coaching staff probably failed our kids a little bit this year by not being able to find that secret sauce or that secret combination. But it wasn't from a lack of effort from our kids. It's not like they're trying to not be consistent. I think my particular group of 14 kids sold out at all 52 of our practices this year. We strive to get better. We did get better. Our goal in Cadillac is always to be playing our best basketball that last week of February going into March, and we had won 6 out of our last 7 games. So I really feel like we were playing our best basketball. But ultimately, when you're playing a team of experienced guys like Midland Dow was, we had to be – our margin of error was so small, and it wasn't meant to be that night. But we're going to learn from it. It'll hurt. It'll burn. But it'll force us to not rest on the success of past teams and really understand that we got to work our butt off to get into the gym and fix the wrongs that we had this year.
Yeah. Ryan, I know you're real excited about the future of Cadillac, again, because of Dominic coming back and others, and we appreciate you joining us here on Saturday mornings. You're one of our favorites because you do such a great job, and really looking forward to seeing the Cadillac Viking team next year.
Thanks, guys. Hey, listen, I'm going to steal less than 30 seconds, but I'm en route right now to Midland to coach my 6th grade kid and a bunch of his friends in an AAU tournament. So I'm kind of a couple years behind Coach Meade in regards to coaching his own kids, but something that is exciting to me and what the future holds. And I say it every time I get to talk to you. Thank you for everything you do for Northern Michigan and our athletes. We really appreciate the support.
All right, Coach.
All right.
Good. Have fun today, and we'll be in touch in the fall.
All right, guys. You have a great spring. We'll talk soon.
All right. Ryan Benzenberg of the Cadillac Vikings. Yeah, always great to talk to Ryan for sure.
Yeah. I know we're running short, and I know, like I said, he referenced Coach Finnegan.
Yeah.
In conversations I had with both of those guys, they were like almost twin brothers experiencing the same issue, and coaches that have a lot of success, which both of those guys have. When you run into a team that's just not doing what you normally have them do,
right?
It just drives you crazy.
It's good to share that with the other coach because, again, they're able to talk and commiserate and things like that. So, all right, when we come back, we're going to have Rich Moffitt of the Gaylord St. Mary Snowbirds. Lost in overtime last night in a big-time game against Hillman. We'll talk to Rich about that. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernick GMC in Gaylord.
Big capability, smart monthly payments. It's all happening now at Jim Wernick GMC. Lease a 2026 Sierra Elevation 4-wheel drive double cab for only $166 per month plus tax. Or choose the confident 2026 Terrain Elevation all-wheel drive for $399 a month plus tax. These are 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year with 2026 due at signing. Ready to make your move? Call 989-732-4288 and drive professional grade today. Jim Wernick GMC. We are professional grade. See dealer for details.
Just like Northern Michigan High School athletes, Saab relies on trust, drive, and expertise. Those are the values it takes to have a winning season, and the same values that power Saab's mission, keeping people and society safe. Hi, I'm David Howie, Project Manager for Saab in Northern Michigan. Saab is dedicated to being a responsible neighbor, a reliable employer, a steward of the environment, and a proud supporter of Northern Michigan High School athletics. Saab in Northern Michigan.
Love is in the air this February at Benetham's. Begin your romantic dinner with oysters Rockefeller, classic seafood Chiappino, or crispy coconut shrimp. Continue your love affair with the chef specials, or a perfect Piedmontese 14-ounce New York strip is always a tremendous taste treat. The Benetham's wine list has the perfect pairings, including many fine sparkling wines to make the meal complete. Visit Benethams.com and make your reservations today. Benetham's, for the true love of food. The golf season for 2026 is already open at Grandview Golf Club. Their state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators are so realistic your game won't skip a beat. Call 231-258-3244 to book an hour in the brand new bar and clubhouse. Play the most iconic golf courses in the world without the cost or travel. Grandview Golf Club is putting their Winter Golf League together right now. Hit some balls, have some drinks and great food, and play golf year-round at Grandview Golf Club.
Hi folks, Jim Jeffries for Michigan Trailers in Traverse City, Northern Michigan's value leader in utility trailer sales. It's never too early to gear up for spring, and it's not too late to get some funds off the books before tax season. With over 300 utility trailers available from America's top manufacturers, we can help you tackle either task with a great selection and incredible values in stock to solve all your hauling needs. See us today on US 31 South across from Menards, Traverse City, or visit us online at michigantrailers.com.
If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education or where your talents lie, the Michigan Army National Guard has most of the answers. Your participation in a few yearly training exercises will make you stronger and part of a patriotic team. You will also receive up to $50,000 in scholarships towards your education, including training and placement in exciting tech and medical fields. Build your future and support your country. Apply to miarmyguard.com. That's miarmyguard.com.
When the time comes to make your relationship official, Hogan's Diamond Jewelers is Northern Michigan's jewelry store. This is Erin Martins. Want to know about our credentials? While many stores come and go, Hogan's has been right here in downtown Gaylord for nearly 68 years. It's hard to say how many couples have begun their trip down the aisle of togetherness here at our store. Whether it's a guy looking for an engagement ring to present as he pops the question, or a couple who are pretty far along in their relationship coming in together to find the ring to seal the deal. You get the attention you deserve. If you need evidence of their satisfaction with Hogan's service, look at how often they come back for a ring to commemorate a meaningful anniversary or when it's time to renew their vows. Our bridal couples send their friends here too. We take time to talk to you, and more importantly, we listen to what you have to say, one couple at a time. It's how we've done it for going on 7 decades. We're on Main Street, M32 in downtown Gaylord at Hogan's Diamond Jewelers.
Spring is just around the corner. Get your business ready to roll. Jim Wiernig Chevrolet in Gaylord has serious commercial vehicles at serious almost spring savings. Right now, save over $5,000 on in-stock commercial inventory, including 2025 Chevrolet Express 2500 cargo vans, 2025 Chevy Express box trucks, and 2025 Silverado 2400 HD dump trucks. Built to work, ready for the season, and priced to move. Visit ChevyCentral.com or stop by Jim Wiernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. See dealer for details.
You've got to tune to Up North Sports Radio with 97.1 Detroit Sports Radio Network. Powered by Gardner White Furniture in Gaylord. Same owners, same location, all new attitude. 101.1 WGRY.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wiernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you, and we're just not able to get a hold of Rich Moffitt just yet, but JC and I were talking about that game last night in that district championship at Rogers City. Hillman comes out with an overtime win, 68.
Yeah, it sounded like a hell of a game.
68-64, the back and forth. I became part of a text chain, and I got numerous text messages of Hillman leading, then St. Mary's coming down, leading by 1 with 7 seconds to go in regulation. Obviously, then Hillman made a free throw to tie it up. They go to overtime. It's a back-and-forth affair. And the Hillman Tigers? Yeah, I winning a close one there for sure. So, but there were some other.
Yeah, you got some other action there, Rich.
Yeah, for the third time this season, East Jordan got a win over Mansalona. That's two teams that really matched up well. They had both teams were 21-2, and Mansalona's only 2 losses came to East Jordan. And so in the final score, East Jordan 65, Mansalona 54 for a district championship for East Jordan. That was played at Mansalona. Also, Elk Rapids and Maple City Glen Lake had quite the battle as well. And so with Glen Lake having the lead after 3, 54-47. So that, and Elk Rapids rallies in the fourth quarter to get a big-time win there in that one. That's quite the comeback there for sure for Elk Rapids. That was played at Elk Rapids as well. That home court advantage does pay off.
Sometimes, but Mansalona didn't work for Mansalona, who, kind of broke the mold. We say it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
It is.
In some cases, maybe not so much. They just have your number.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Were there any surprises downstate at all, JC?
I can't. I hate navigating the MHS. It just.
This I do have some other scores from the western part of the UP. Ishpeming Westwood, a team we saw at the showcase this year, they absolutely blew out West Iron County 71-32. But it'll be now they match up against Menominee. So that
I don't know if you've got a minute or so, if you can see what happened, in the Grand Rapids Kalamazoo area. They had a lot of great teams. There had to be some pretty interesting district matchups up there because a lot of, like Rockford, there's like 5 teams that were ranked in the top 25 there.
Right.
I got to imagine one of them or 2 of them ran into each other. The one interesting thing that I was telling you about, the 2 best teams in the PSL played in the district final last night. Detroit King, who had been ranked like 6, and Cass Tech was more like 15th or 16th. Cass Tech beat Detroit King to make it out of that district, and they will play my Brother Rice Warriors on Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, this regionals are Tuesday, Thursday matchup. I do. Rockford played Muskegon in the district championship, and Rockford beat Muskegon 83-70.
Yeah,
and
that's a great Rockford team.
It is, and now Rockford plays on the bottom part of that bracket, where that we were hoping that West would get to in Gaylord. So that's going to be Mount Pleasant and Marquette.
Yeah.
So Saginaw United and Rockford, the winner of that, they'll meet for the regional championship.
It's a great Rockford team. I don't know where
if
you've got East Kentwood.
I'm going to continue surfing down here to see what if they.
Some of the usual suspects, Wayne Memorial.
Yes.
It used to be, like the Detroit News and the Free Press would run you'd get a summary of the scores, but I think there's just less and less staff and
exactly.
Yeah, so
East Kentwood won by 20 in their district championship, 64-44 over Byron Center. They will now match up against Holland West Ottawa, and Holland that's a 13-11 team. East Kentwood at 21-2. That's a really athletic team.
Oh yeah,
really athletic. They get up and down the floor. They can score. That's a team that anybody could be the leading scorer. They're very well balanced.
Well, that southwest side of the state always produces one or two good teams. This year, there seemed like there was about six.
Yes, exactly. I see West Bloomfield beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Wow.
It's 39-36.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be a tough game. West Bloomfield will occasionally, they've been to some state championships.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever won a state championship.
In the other side of that, Auburn Hills Avondale beat Clarkston 57-43.
That Clarkston program is,
it's not quite the same.
No, I don't. I'm sure there's a Fife coaching them.
Oh, exactly. Because they have played really well for a long time. That's for sure. Yeah. So, but
I don't know if Detroit Catholic Central had a big district final matchup too, and I don't know.
Are they Division One?
Yeah, they're Division One.
Yeah, I'm cruising through these all of these ones here and trying to find them quickly, because I only get so many games each page here to the MHSAA. So, but East Lansing, as we expected, they moved on. They beat Lansing Waverly 92-78.
Defending state champions, and they have most of that team back from last year.
And now they're going to match up in the first game of the regional against Kalamazoo Lloyd Norris.
Always great program. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, they've got an excellent. Yeah, they're 16-7 on the year as Kalamazoo. East Lansing at 23-1.
Right.
So yeah, great team that East Lansing.
Well, you'll be keeping your eyeballs on that, Rich, because unfortunately there's very few of our teams in the area that. Did McBain win? Did they win their district?
Yeah, Division 4. I've got to go back over, or Division 3 actually is McBain. Yeah. I'm sure that they did. And Bruce Coltman, their head coach, could not join us this morning. He's still doing their junior program.
Right.
Yes, they beat Manton 66-23.
Oh, okay.
No, but they get a rematch against Beale City. The team that beat them early in the season. McBain got the revenge on them later in the year.
Yeah.
But so they split during the regular season. So that's going to be a great matchup in the first game of regionals.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, that's going to do it. Thanks for joining us here this weekend. Thanks to all the coaches. They're so generous with their time. Red Wings fans, we will have Red Wing hockey on here. I don't know what time the game is. They play the Carolina Hurricanes. Our buddy Gordon Miller will be at the game in Carolina. So back to 97.1 The Ticket here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY's High School Scoreboard Show, brought to us by Jim Wernig Chevrolet and GMC in Gaylord.
This has been the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord, dedicated to the best customer service and the best offers. Join us next Saturday at 10 with host Rich Calkins. Nobody loves high school sports like Up North Sports Radio.
WGRY in Grayling is a division of Blarney Stone Broadcasting with 97.1 Detroit Sports Radio Network, 101.1 WGRY, powered by Gardner White Furniture in Gaylord. Same owners, same location, all new attitude. Leading the lineup on the Detroit Sports Network, Up North Sports Radio. Follow Up North Sports Radio on Facebook and never miss a game on Up North Sports Radio. Are the Wings on tonight? Go to upnorthsportsradio.com and get all the Detroit game info. Up North Sports Radio is the home of the Detroit Sports Network.
There has never been a better time to buy or lease a new car than now at Matt LaFontaine Chevy GMC in Grayling during our President's Day sales event. You can lease a brand new 2026 GMC Sierra Crew Cab 4x4 courtesy vehicle starting at just $189 per month for 24 months. We are professional grade at Matt LaFontaine Chevy GMC in Grayling. Call us today to schedule your personal appointment during our President's Day sales event at Matt LaFontaine in Grayling.
Make it great, make it better at Matt LaFontaine Automotive.
I've had some friends get locked out, and you're just out of luck at that point. Gotta sometimes just sleep by the door.
Joe from St. Clair Shore says, when I was a kid, I fell asleep at the air show. I don't know if you know how loud it is there, but if you did, you'd be impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very loud.
I can imagine.
That's almost similar to falling asleep at like a NASCAR race.
Fell asleep on a first date at the movie theater less than 10 minutes into the first Dune movie. Can't believe she went on a second date with me. That's from Jack.
Sleeping through Dune as well? Come on. I mean, maybe the first one I'll give it to you, but...
Yes. And fell asleep peeing at a urinal in basic training. Okay.
That is...
Hopefully none of our troops who are over in Iran are going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's a whole different discussion for right now. Last night at LCA, the Pistons over the Cleveland Cavaliers in overtime, 122-119, in a very exciting game. And, they played three pretty big opponents at home this week. They won two of them. And you can argue, and I have, the wins, aren't as impressive when the best players on the other team don't play, and that's not to take anything away from what the Pistons actually did, because they won games when their best players didn't play. But you know what happened? San Antonio had pretty much everybody, and they won. When, shall we say, the Oklahoma City Thunder decided to regulate their players with no SGA, Holmgren, Hartenstein, the good Jalen Williams, although the one who most people didn't know about, played really good in that game as well. It's hard to believe they have two Jalen Williams, different spellings. Caruso didn't play in that game either, and Chet Holmgren didn't play. And the Pistons won that game, struggled but won. And last night, Donovan Mitchell and the Beard didn't play. And Pistons, it was a good game, but Cunningham fouls out. They're down, 6 with about 2:40 left when he fouled out approximately.
He fouled out at 156, and then his foul resulted in 2 free throws to put him down 6.
Yeah, and the Pistons come back and win thanks to Danis Jenkins, just heaving up a shot, that three-pointer to tie it from, not even half court, further back than half court, and he was fouled by Jalen Tyson of the Cavaliers. It was not, a controversial foul. He fouled him.
Well, it was an intentional foul. They were trying to,
Yeah,
So they got
exactly.
it's really soft contact, but that they got the call.
The strategy worked, and it was the right call. And Jenkins did what it's tough to do, and which is make 3 straight free throws with the game on the line, send it overtime, and the Pistons won. And Duren was fantastic in the game again. Scoring 33 points, and he had 16 rebounds. And Cade had a really good game as well. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, but he fouled out.
Just can't foul out.
And then, what was revealing about that game was, once again, their inability to create accurate space for three-point shooting, and they don't have a lot of good three-point shooters. Duncan Robinson last night, some nights he's been good, some nights he's been Last night, 2 for 8 from 3. That's not going to get it done in the playoffs. So they have to figure out a way to win without the 3. And in this league, it's very tough to do, and that's why we implored them to get a three-point shooter so many times. And Kevin Huerter hasn't really gotten off the bench and hasn't contributed yet. So
yeah, I think the difference between this Pistons team and last year's Pistons team is the ability to create shots. Mm-hmm. Cade was a shot creator. Tobias Harris was a shot creator, and so was Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
And Dennis Schroeder is not necessarily a shot creator for himself, but for other people,
yes.
and just the leader that he is. And that's really what they've been missing. I think it's easy to just look at the three-point shooting and say they're missing that shooting, but you are missing another weapon on the floor that will open up better 3-point looks than they're already getting. And
Which is why, in a weird way, the whole Jaden Ivey trade. I mean, because he was pretty good because he could, get into space, not for his own three-point, which weren't bad, but people had to defend him, which would create space and like you were talking about. So
a guy who could get to the basket on a given notice.
Now he's lost a lot of his spurt from the injury. There's no doubt about it. And he even said he's not the same J.I. Now the game was not only on fan.